The world is a strange place. Back in 2022, I worked as a private investigator in eastern Tennessee. Most of my cases involved cheating spouses, insurance scams, or missing property. Nothing exciting, nothing supernatural. At least that's what I believed. Then I got a call from a woman named Emily Carter. Emily lived alone in a large house outside Knoxville, Tennessee. The property sat at the edge of a dense forest. When she called me, she sounded exhausted. Not frightened, exhausted, like someone who hadn't slept in weeks. She told me that every night at exactly 2:13 a.m., someone appeared at the edge of her woods, just standing there, watching her house. At first, I assumed it was a stalker. Unfortunately, those cases weren't uncommon. The next afternoon, I drove out to meet her. The house looked normal enough. Beautiful property, quiet road, perfect place to live. Yet the moment I stepped out of my truck, I felt uncomfortable. The woods behind the house were silent, completely silent. No birds, no insects, nothing. Emily immediately showed me security footage. The figure appeared every night. Same location, same time, same posture. Never moving, never leaving, just standing there, watching. The footage was disturbing, not because of the figure itself, because of how still it remained. Hours passed without a single movement, no shifting weight, no turning, nothing, like a photograph frozen in place. That night I stayed on the property. At 2:12 a.m., nothing was there. I was staring directly at the tree line. Then I blinked, and suddenly it was standing there. My stomach dropped. 1 second the space was empty. The next second something occupied it. There was no walking, no approach, no sound, just there. I grabbed a flashlight and started moving toward it. The air felt colder with every step. 20 yards away, I could finally see it clearly. It was tall, far taller than any normal person, at least 7 feet. Its arms hung almost to its knees. Its face was pale, too pale. Then it lifted its head and smiled. The smile stretched impossibly wide across its face. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run. Instead, I kept walking. When I was about 15 feet away, the flashlight flickered. Just once. The smile stretched impossibly wide across its face. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run. Instead, I kept walking. When I was about 15 feet away, the flashlight flickered. Just once. When the light returned, the figure was gone. Completely gone. I searched the area until sunrise. There were no footprints, no tracks, no evidence anyone had ever been there. The next morning, I told Emily someone was probably messing with her. Even as I said it, I didn't believe my own words. The following night was worse. At exactly 2:13 a.m., Emily called me. Her voice was shaking. "It's in the backyard." I ran outside. The figure was no longer at the tree line. It had moved closer, much closer. Now it stood less than 50 feet from the house, watching the upstairs bedroom window. The same smile stretched across its face. I shined my flashlight at it. The figure slowly raised one arm and pointed directly at me. Then it turned around and walked into the woods. That was the first time I had seen it move. The way it walked still makes me sick. Its limbs bent at strange angles, like a puppet trying to imitate a human. The next day I decided to search the forest. About half a mile from the house, I found something unusual. A small abandoned cabin. The structure looked ancient. Most of the roof had collapsed. The windows were broken. Nature had nearly reclaimed it. Inside, I discovered dozens of old photographs scattered across the floor. Every photograph showed different families, different decades, different people. But every single photo had one thing in common. Standing somewhere in the background was the same smiling figure, sometimes behind a tree, sometimes near a window, sometimes standing at the edge of a field. always watching, always smiling. My blood ran cold. Some of the photographs looked over 50 years old. I immediately contacted local authorities. An older deputy arrived and examined the photos. The moment he saw them, his expression changed. He asked where I found them. After I explained, he became quiet. Then he told me something I wish I'd never heard. According to local legend, people had reported seeing the smiling man for nearly 80 years. Every few years, someone would spot him near their home. Most sightings ended with nothing happening. Most, but not all. Several people connected to those reports had disappeared. No bodies were ever found, no suspects identified, just gone. The deputy laughed nervously after telling me. He claimed it was only an old mountain story, but his eyes suggested otherwise. That night, I convinced Emily to stay in a hotel. She agreed. I remained at the house alone. At exactly 2:13 a.m., every light in the house went out. The power failed. The security monitors turned black. Then came the knocking. 3 slow knocks. From the front door. I looked through the peephole. Nobody. Then 3 more knocks. This time from the back door. I ran through the house. Nothing. Then the knocking started upstairs. Directly above me. My heart nearly stopped. There was nobody else inside. I grabbed my handgun and moved toward the staircase. The knocking continued. Slow. Deliberate. Almost playful. When I reached the second floor, the sound stopped. Silence. Then I heard something behind me. A whisper. So close it felt like warm breath against my ear. Found you. I spun around. Nobody. The hallway was empty. Then every bedroom door slammed shut at once. The entire house shook. I ran downstairs. The front door burst open. Standing outside was the smiling man, closer than ever before. His head nearly touched the top of the doorway. That horrible smile seemed even wider. I raised my flashlight. For a brief second, the beam illuminated his face. And that's when I realized something. His skin wasn't skin. It looked like dozens of human faces stretched together into one impossible shape. The flashlight died. Everything went dark. I don't remember much after that. Only running. Running through the woods. Running until sunrise. When morning came, I found myself nearly 2 miles from the house. The cabin was gone. The photographs were gone. Even the path leading to it had vanished. Police searched the area. They found nothing. No cabin. No evidence. Nothing. Emily sold the property 3 months later. She moved across the country. As far as I know, she never saw the figure again. Neither did I. At least, not in person. Because 6 months later, an envelope arrived at my office. No return address. No note. Inside was a single photograph. A recent photograph. Taken at night. Taken through my bedroom window. In the photo, I was asleep in my bed. And standing beside me, smiling directly at the camera, was the same man from the woods